Ever pondered over the global shockwaves caused by a single company's downfall? Today, we unravel the tale of Evergrande, once a titan in the realm of real estate. From its inception, Evergrande was a force to be reckoned with. Born out of China's economic boom, it quickly rose to prominence, becoming the largest real estate company globally. With a seemingly insatiable appetite for growth, Evergrande was the epitome of a success story, a testament to the promise of rapid economic development. But behind this glittering facade, there lay a series of management decisions that would ultimately lead to its rapid expansion. Evergrande's leadership, in their relentless pursuit of growth, adopted an aggressive strategy of acquiring land and properties. They borrowed heavily, leveraging their assets to fund these acquisitions. This strategy, while initially successful, was akin to building a castle on a foundation of sand. The company's management also made several diversification decisions, branching out into sectors such as electric vehicles and even bottled water. These ventures, however, were often costly and yielded little return, further straining the company's already precarious financial situation. Evergrande's high-wire act was not without its critics. Many warned of the dangers of such rapid expansion, fueled by high levels of debt. But these voices were often drowned out by the seemingly unstoppable growth of the company. The company's strategy was a gamble, a high-stakes game where the rewards were immense, but so were the risks. And as we'll see, it was a gamble that would have far-reaching consequences. But as the saying goes, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, and fall Evergrande did. In the twilight of 2021, Evergrande defaulted on its debt, triggering a domino effect with far-reaching consequences. This was no ordinary default. It was a seismic event that sent shockwaves across the world of real estate. A company that once stood as a towering giant had now crumbled, leaving behind a trail of uncertainty and chaos. Evergrande's rapid growth and expansion, fueled by aggressive borrowing, was the catalyst for its downfall. In its pursuit of greatness, the company had amassed a staggering $305 billion in liabilities. The company's management, blinded by ambition, had overlooked the fundamental principles of governance and risk management. They had failed to establish a safety net, a contingency plan to safeguard the company against unforeseen circumstances. This was their Achilles heel. As the company defaulted on its debt, the immediate impact was catastrophic. Shareholders watched in disbelief as their investments plummeted. Investors, who had once reaped the benefits of Evergrande's success, were now left grappling with substantial losses. Potential homeowners, who had invested their life savings in Evergrande properties, were left in limbo, their dreams of homeownership shattered. The crisis also exposed the fragility of the company's risk management strategies. Evergrande's decision to extend payments and roll over some loans was a desperate attempt to keep the company afloat. But it was too little, too late. The damage was done. The company's reputation was tarnished, and its financial stability was in tatters. In the midst of this crisis, Evergrande's management was under scrutiny. Their decisions, their risk management strategies, and their lack of foresight were all called into question. The company's downfall served as a stark reminder of the importance of sound governance and risk management in business. The tremors of this default were not confined to the company alone, but they echoed throughout the Chinese economy. This was just the beginning of a chain reaction that would have far-reaching effects on China and beyond. The fall of the giant was a wake-up call, a lesson in the dangers of unchecked ambition and poor risk management. The shockwaves of Evergrande's downfall rippled through China's economy, causing a stir in the world market. As the largest real estate development company in the world, Evergrande's default had a profound impact. It was a domino effect, with potential homeowners, shareholders, and investors feeling the brunt of the fall. This financial tremor didn't stop at China's borders. It reverberated around the globe, affecting world economy. With Evergrande's liabilities amounting to $305 billion, the scale of the impact was monumental. Financial institutions worldwide held their breath, watching anxiously as the drama unfolded. China's major banks were put on high alert. The People's Bank of China and the nation's banking watchdog warned Evergrande to reduce its debt risks. The shockwave had hit, and it was all hands on deck to prevent a financial tsunami. The Chinese government was quick to respond. Faced with social unrest from investors and home buyers, they prioritized social stability and the protection of household interests. This was a clear indication of the government's commitment to mitigate the impact of this crisis on its people. But the ripples continued. Smaller banks with higher exposure to Evergrande faced significant increases in non-performing loans. The overall impact on the banking sector was expected to be manageable, but the smaller players bore the brunt of this financial storm. Evergrande's story serves as a stark reminder of how the fate of one company can sway the global economy. The dust has settled, but the scars of Evergrande's fall remain. What is the current status of the company, and can its reputation ever be restored? As we navigate through the aftermath of this financial storm, it's clear the Evergrande Group is still grappling with its towering debts and the ripple effects of its default. The company's stock has plummeted to fresh lows, whilst its property management and electric vehicle units have seen some gains. The Chinese government, prioritizing social stability and the interests of households, has issued warnings to Evergrande to reduce its debt risks. The overall impact on the banking sector seems manageable for now, but smaller banks with higher exposure to Evergrande could face significant increases in non-performing loans. What can we learn from this saga? First and foremost, the importance of sound financial management and risk assessment cannot be understated. Evergrande's aggressive growth strategy, while initially successful, was not sustainable. Its high leverage and over-reliance on the property market resulted in a precarious situation that eventually led to its downfall. Secondly, the Evergrande crisis underscores the interconnectedness of the global economy. A default by a single company can have far-reaching effects, disrupting not only local markets, but also international financial systems. Lastly, the role of governance in mitigating such crises is crucial. Regulatory bodies must be vigilant and proactive in identifying and addressing potential risks before they escalate into full-blown crises. Will Evergrande's reputation ever recover? Only time will tell. But for now, the company must focus on managing its debts and restoring confidence among its investors and the public. Evergrande's tale is a sobering lesson in financial management, risk assessment, and the interconnectedness of the global economy.